Good morning, everyone. I'm Amy Friesen, and this is Artful Aging with Amy. I'd like to welcome back Sue Pitchforth to the show. Sue and I are looking at how to repurpose your outdated or inherited pieces. Recently, I've been tasked with fitting an old style hutch into a modern design. Sue, welcome back to Artful Aging.
Thanks, Amy. So excited to be back.
I'm really happy to have you. Sue, many of our viewers are inheriting their parents' furniture, whether they're finding it on purpose or they're actually inheriting it so they can give it new life. Or when their parents pass away, they also want to keep this as a momentum. And so they're also tasked with doing something with all of these pieces and trying to fit them into their homes. Like me, many feel that their older furniture, although it's well crafted and it's good quality, doesn't quite fit with their own decor. I know this isn't new to you, Sue. What have you found to be the main concern when people are considering taking on their loved one's furniture?
So many of us are going through this, and I recently, like you, have gone through the same thing with my dad. And I have to say, it's very stressful because you, as a child, doesn't matter how old you are, you tend to, okay, we need to take everything. Well, you can't take everything. And then when you do bring whatever pieces into your home, they obviously don't go with what you have. So hence the stress level increases again. Your house is more cluttered because there's more stuff. You don't know what to do with it. And it's just this one big stress ball that a lot of people carry and they don't know what to do with. And honestly, when I go into people's homes and they're dealing with this, I see the piece or pieces very differently. Not that, as you said, outdated piece or the piece, that looks terrible because the color is horrible or what have you. I see something totally different. So that's why I'm so excited to be here talking to you about this today.
Yeah, I tend to see things similar to you, probably even more so now that you and I have been talking a lot more. So I tend to look at pieces differently. And when I'm looking for, like we're doing a trailer, we're redoing stuff, and I want to add different pieces in, I tend to look on, thrift sites or Facebook or whatever to get these pieces. And I find that even that little bit of creative output actually helps me in my everyday business and things like that because your brain's thinking differently about stuff. So I always love doing that. Today, you have a piece that you refinished that I'm going to pop up for our YouTube audience to see. Can you tell us more about this dresser and what you did to repurpose it?
Sure. Actually, this is very much a French provincial style dresser. I think most of us of a certain age either had one or knew someone who had a dresser like this. And my clients had it in the garage for years. Happened to be over there one day and she was saying, well, I need a hall table or credenza where I could put a lamp and, have our keys and all that stuff. So I said, well, do you have a piece, an old dresser or old table? So we went out to the garage, pulled it out. And as you can see on the left, this is the before. And again, very much French provincial, very feminine looking. And we had a great conversation about what we could do with it and how we can transform it and make it into something so incredible, but also that's not dated anymore, that fits right into her style.
I think that's lovely. And I love that, like, you and I have talked a lot about not being afraid of paint and not, just kind of, I guess I look at furniture. It's really funny because my husband looks at the piece that we're going to talk about in a minute, but he looks at furniture as keeping it in its original condition. And, he's much more nostalgic than I am. But the thing is that he's always looking at that. And so every time I was like, let's paint this, he thinks I'm crazy. And so I'm always a big fan of, if we're not going to use it or if it's going to be an eyesore, we might as well try something with it. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But at the same time, it might work amazingly. And then we have this new piece of furniture to look at.
Oh, absolutely. And all my clients feel that way, especially the men. And I'm generalizing here, but it's very true. The women are much more open to being a little more creative, perhaps a little more colorful. And I will say that every single person that I know, every client that has painted something, even if it's a small end table or a chair, it gives them confidence and they see the changes that can be made. And literally, they walk around with the paintbrush to see what else they can paint. So it's pretty amazing. So I will say to your audience, once you start, you're going to be on a little journey of
Yeah.
painting.
Yeah, for sure. I even got into chalk painting for a while, so I was painting everything. So let's look at this hutch that I have now inherited in my life. So many people have styles of hutches like the one that we're going to show, and we want to use it. We inherited it from Mike's dad, and he's no longer with us. And we wanted to incorporate it, whether we incorporate it into our home or we're thinking of doing an Airbnb or whatnot. And it's a lovely piece. Like I said at the top of the show, it's well built. It's sturdy, right? And it's not like there's a lot of furniture made now as kind of throwaway furniture, right? So we want to incorporate it, but Sue, it's a beast. It's a beast, and we'll show everybody now. And so now I'm wrapping my head around it. What would you do for this piece?
So, as you say, it is a beast, and they really don't make furniture like this anymore. So, if there is an opportunity, and I always use the word opportunity for you to repurpose and refresh and renew something, why not? Because they are so well made. So, the first thing I would do is, I see many shelves hidden in this hutch, and I would remove the glass doors and probably the door underneath the glass doors. So then you will have like 3 shelves on one side, then you'll have the shelf, you'll have those small double doors, and you'll have a lower shelf. So that's the first thing I would do. It's going to give it a totally different look. It's going to be much lighter, and it won't be as heavy looking. I was looking at the handles. We have to keep the handles there on because they're actually built into the unit. And what I would do is I would clean the unit with TSP, I would prime it, and then I would paint it a really nice gray. My goodness, it would just be so fabulous. It
Interesting.
would, and it's really difficult for most people to see a piece that's dated and think how it's going to look painted. But I will tell you, paint is the quickest, fastest, easiest, most cost-effective way to update anything, especially pieces like this. So I would do that. Absolutely, I would paint that. And then I've got a couple of props here that I wanted to show you. Then I would style it. So style it for whatever your purpose is. And I would think, as you mentioned, it was, storage. I've got a great basket here. Look how great that would look with the gray. And I also have some greenery that you could put on there. And then I have this, which I want to talk a little bit about, because you'll notice on the hutch, once you remove the doors, you're going to see more of the back of the hutch. So this is a peel and stick wallpaper. This happens to be wooden style, which would look really nice with the gray. And all you do is you measure, you peel, you stick, and you put it on the back walls. It looks amazing. Again, updating it and making it look very, very different. If you're really looking to have this for storage, then here's another basket, which is great. Nice big basket. You could put it in on the shelves. You could have a different assortment of baskets. They all don't have to be the same. But really take that unit once you've painted it and update it and really give it purpose. I always think functional purpose, but also stylish purpose. And I think if you do all these and you put all these things together, I think your husband's going to be amazed. It really, really will.
Well, and I think too, it's, because it's such a big piece, it has to have those extra design options, like the extra colors and baskets and pops of colors and things like that, because the piece itself I find huge, right? Like it's a double hutch essentially, like double wide. And so wherever it ends up going, it's going to take up a substantial wall space. And so that's also why it's, helpful to redesign it, because, if it's going to be in this wall space, it can either be the way it looks now, which would not fit in anywhere, or you can do these pops of color. I really like the background that you just showed as well with the peel and stick. That's a really interesting idea, because that way it really changes it. And you just posted on Facebook today another hutch, right? A lot of people are using hutches, the singles, like the not the double wide, but the single ones, for like coffee bars and stuff, which you happened to post today. And I've seen a couple of remakes like that. And it's just really kind of whatever your imagination can do. And having that, one of the thoughts that I was having was, a storage piece for going outside, like on a beach, right? So all the towels and all the different things there. But also, just that coffee bar piece really also frees up a bunch of counter space, right?
Oh, absolutely. And one other thing, we don't have a picture of it, but I know most of us have, our parents have the typical buffet and hutch in the dining room. So usually that's two pieces. And what I absolutely love to do is separate them, paint them, change the handles if you need be. I would like to put legs on the upper hutch. So now you have a totally different piece. It's got glass in it. And then again, you could put that peel and stick wallpaper along the back, and you could go bold, or you can go, softer, whatever your style is. And now you have two separate pieces. That buffet I use many, many times for TV stands. It's great because it doubles as storage, and it's practical storage, but it looks good. And so it's really, you had mentioned earlier, thinking creatively and opening up your mind. And it's so incredible, the feeling that you get. It's like, wow, I never thought of that. And I even do that for myself sometimes. I'm like, wow, I do this for a living, and I had no idea that would look so good there.
I've seen those hutches being taken apart, and the other thing that I've seen people do is use them as like kitchen cabinets, like do the bottom as a cabinet, and then they hang the top, which
Absolutely.
I always thought that was really cool. So I think that I'd like to encourage our viewers, and I think maybe you would as well, sometimes just going down the Pinterest hole for a while and, looking and getting those creative juices going, and looking at repurposing hutches or whatnot, and just getting those things flowing, and then looking at the pieces that you have in your house to see if we can make, or you can make them more appealing to you. And if there's something that you've inherited or you need to repurpose, which is happening quite a lot, maybe there's a way to fit that in somewhere, as opposed to sending it to a landfill or, sending it to a thrift store. Maybe you want to keep that piece.
Oh, absolutely. And I recently posted on my Facebook page a beautiful pink hutch. And it's very plain, but the person painted it pink. And what they did that just blew my mind was they took the back off. So when they put it up against the wall, you saw the wall behind it. And it was amazing, to look at it, because, with the back on it, it looks so much bigger. But once you remove the back, it just looked smaller, and it looks so much more modern. And then they, you place all your items on your shelves. Again, you've got that piece. Why not do something with it? Something different than you normally would have done.
Absolutely. I concur. I've definitely seen that type of piece as well. Well, Sue, I think that we've given our viewers hopefully a lot of ideas. I would encourage people to send me pictures if you're redoing stuff. I'm sure Sue and I would love to see it. I send Sue pictures all the time. Whether she likes it or not, she gets pictures from me, because I'm always finding different things. Yeah. And so we're always finding different things, and it's just a matter of putting your imagination to work. And like I said, I find that the creativity and getting those juices flowing actually helps me be more creative in my day job, in what I do for work. So that's always helpful. Sue, thanks so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Such a pleasure, as always, Amy.
And that's it for Artful Aging today. I hope that you found value today. If you have, please like and share us on your networks. I'm sure there's lots of people in your life that are tasked with repurposing items and a little bit lost. And now you've got the tool to say, hey, what about trying this? Again, I hope you enjoy your day. From me to all of you, I hope that you have a wonderful Wednesday.